Hey guys, so as you can see from the little beginning intro video there and a little bit of work off screen, I have completed filling in everything that requires color. So it's looking pretty sharp. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm ready to move on to highlighting. And I just wanted to show a quick tutorial on how to do that. And then after that, I will clean up the edges a little bit, go over the blacks and stuff like that. I already have. You can kind of notice the blacks are blacker because I've traced over a lot of them already. The knuckles of the hands and stuff, I still need to do that, but those are supposed to be highlighted areas, so I'll fill those black and then highlight them because that light would hit those. And then I'm going to cut out the background, and I think what I want to do is I want to try and do a rainbow, like a pot of gold rainbow or something like that background behind her. But for now, I'm going to start by deciding where I want a light source. So the way that shading works is that you pick a light source, meaning that is the light coming from the upper left, straight overhead, from the upper right, the lower right, etc. So it could even be coming from the front or the back. It's multi-dimensional. So it's really just kind of where you want to have the light coming from. And is there a singular or multi-light source? I usually do a multi-light source. I do that a lot with, for instance, the Hellsing picture I did with the vinyl top. The light is coming from both the upper left and front. So I did that with her. For this one, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to do the same thing, kind of from the upper left and front. And I think the reason why is because when I put that rainbow background behind it, it's going to really enhance. It'll look like it's all around her. So I think that's what I'm going to do. The pain for this one, this is relatively easy as far as coloring this in and everything. This was fairly simple compared to that Tyndall hood that I did. That one was very difficult. This one was much easier, but the pain in this one is going to be, I want the confetti to not just be kind of in the air like it is now. I want it to have reflections and stuff, so I'll have to go through, pick the light source, and then highlight and do reflections and stuff with the Dodge tool to get those reflections to make the confetti look like it's that glossy kind of paper, like party confetti. And that's going to take some time, but it will be worth it. So first what we're going to do is we're going to get started on the hair. So since I'm coming from the upper left hand, the hair really is going to be highlighted more on the left side than the right. Now hair, usually I do kind of like a halo. If you look at people's hairs that have like a shiny or a bright colored hair, they have kind of a halo around the top of their head of the light reflecting off. So it's dark in the center and then there's a halo of light and then it goes dark again. So that's what I'm going to try and replicate here. Now I have my Dodge tool already selected. I have it on 10 pixels. Now when you do Dodge tools, you're going to want them bigger than you do your markers or pencil tips, because the bigger the Dodge, the brighter the outcome is going to be. I'm going to leave it on strength 50. I want to change it to shadows first. I always work from shadows to midtones to highlights. And I usually go progressively lower on my pixel size when I do that. So my shadows I might do as a 30. My midtones I might do as a 20, and the highlights I would do as a 10. It depends on the area that I'm working in. Right now for the hair, I'm thinking 30 looks pretty good. So I think we'll do 30 with shadows. Now I want the highlights to come from the upper left, so the primary source is going to be right around in this area here, and you can see it's already brightening what I'm touching right there. Okay. And I'm just lightly going over those spaces. I'm not really touching it very hard. I'm not really doing a lot of detail in it or anything like that. I just want to lightly go over it, just like that. And you can see that it brightens it up a bit. I want to brighten the tips. Brighten it down here. And down. Down the other tip there. Now you can already see the difference. You can already see where I've highlighted and haven't. And that's just the first shading. So it'll only go so dark with this particular shading. Now I'm going to kind of touch up along the top here and around on this side as well. Now you may be asking, well, you said your light source is in the upper left-hand corner. Why are you doing this side too? Well, I'm doing the shading right now. I'm not doing the reflections. So the shading, what it is it's going to, I need to do everywhere that doesn't have an area that's going to be darker. For instance, right in this area here where that hair overlaps, it's going to be darker. So I'll go away from it and do brighter on the end, but leave the top there darker. And also there's a lot of times where I've done this and I've looked at it and went, no, and I'll back it out and I'll try it again. So it all kind of just depends on the strokes and I'll admit some luck. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the midtones. Midtones are going to give me a little bit brighter area than the shadows. And instead of a 30, I'm going to do a 25. Actually, I think I'm going to do a 30, 25, 20 series. So this time I want to do the halo that I was talking about. And it's going to be kind of around the crown of the head. So it's going to be behind that confetti there, and I'm going to just kind of get in right there. Now it's very difficult. It's not really easy to see right there. But when I do the highlight next, you'll notice it. Okay. And then I'll do a little bit up here, a little bit there. Okay, and then midtones, I'm going to switch to highlights, and highlights I'm going to go down to a 20. And this is where we get that gleam. And overlap a bit. Alright, let's take a look. Let's back it off, take a look. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It didn't gleam as much as I thought I was going to, but that's because it's a bright red. I might go in and do a little, actually let's do that. Let's see if we can do a little burn reduction. We'll do shadow burn reduction and darken it up a bit right there, right there. A little bit there. Just give it a little offset. There we go. Okay, let's zoom out. Take a look. Yeah, it looks pretty good, about where I want it. Now we'll go to the face. The face will go with everywhere that the protrusions from the face would be that would cause highlights to occur is where you want to do this. So the brow, in this case the left cheekbone, the left jawline, the left side of where the bridge of the nose would be, are all going to be brighter than the right. So I'll start with the nose. I usually just kind of do something like that. Okay, and then the brow line is usually brighter anywhere where there's not a lot of hair protruding through there. And then underneath the brow line. Okay. The orbital flooring of the eye, which leads into the jaw. Just on the upper lip area. And then the chin. Okay, and I will do the other half of the face, but you can already tell how much depth that adds just by doing that little bit. And we haven't even done the eye or anything like that yet. And that will make even more of a difference when we go that route. But for now, we're just smoothing everything out. And then I'm going to lightly go over the left side. And the reason I do that is because if I don't, to me, it looks like the skin tone changes color. And I don't want a change of color on the skin tone. So I want the skin tone to match a bit more. Now you notice that I have some areas that have that stroke. Remember the tool I was talking about for smudge? This is where I can get that and kind of swirl it around, and you'll notice it smooths it all out. I don't have that strokey kind of look to it. It smudges the directions that I want it to and transitions better than just doing the highlights themselves. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go back to my dodge. I'm going to go to my midtones. I'm going to leave it on 20, and I'm going to go back over the areas that are going to do hard light reflections. So the cheekbones, upper brow, the eye area here. Okay, the lower jawline. Pretty much anything in that right there. Okay, and then I can back it out and take a look. That has a harsh contrast. I'm not too happy with that, obviously. So I think what I might do, let's start over. Let's undo those dodges. I think I might do those dodges, but I will do them with a reduced strength, just to have it a little less bright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the strength. I think I'm going to just kind of bring it down a little bit. I'm getting a harsh contrast, and that's not that big a deal. I mean, I can go back and darken it, so it's not that big a deal, but I don't want it to be that harsh. And I'm actually going to bump this up to a 25, I think, somewhere in that area. There we go. And see if that makes a difference. And yeah, it does. I'm just going to have to even out the other half of the face as well to get exactly what I'm looking for. So that's okay. I can fix it. And you notice how it looks patchy and so on. Well, that's because I'm going to go back and smooth it out with the smudge, just to get the shading just right and not look kind of a liver patchy thing. Now the tip of the nose and the bridge of the nose I need to brighten up. Okay, that really helped. Good. And then right about there, around, do the orbital flooring. The jawline's going to have a lot of light hitting it. Okay. I'll brighten it up a little bit behind this little areas of the hair. There. Yeah, looking much better now. Okay, if we zoom out, yeah, you can kind of see that the transition is harsh from light to dark, but that's okay. What we'll do is we'll darken that up a little bit. So what we'll do now is we'll go back and we'll zoom in. We'll go into our blur tool. And I'm going to reduce the size of our blur tool. It's pretty big. We're going to go back to like let's do a 15. And we're going to blend it all out. Whoops, notice how I blended that or smudged that hair. I don't want to do that. I don't want to blend any of the solid black lines. I'm just trying to blend the highlight and make the skin nice and soft looking, and transition the shadows well. You can hear that tapping on my microphone. That's my pen as I'm tapping. I suppose you could do your finger with the actual smudge and it would feel a little bit more realistic, but I paid for the pen, I'm going to use it. And we'll do the shadows going downward on the nose tip. Good. Okay, that's a bit darker over here, but that's okay. We're just going to Run along the chin, run along there, run along there. Good, good, good. Now I think I might run the blur tool a little bit. 100 is way too big. We're going to get down to 24. Now what I'm doing is I'm just blurring, and that deadens the pixels so that it gets rid of that brush stroke look even more. And you can really tell now. So if I back out, yeah, I'm very happy with that. It looks pretty good. So next, I am going to do the eyes. That's one of my favorite parts. Now you remember we got in here and we got the orange, and we did a little bit of an orange circle in here. I'm going to do that again. That's not quite as bright as I want it to be. So I'm going to get in and do it again. On brush, I'm on a 3. We'll brighten it up a little bit going around. Good. Same here. A little bit of brighten. Okay. Now, for the eyes, what I'd usually do is, again, I'll zoom way in. I'll go to my smudging tool, which is here. I will reduce the smudge way low, like 2 or 3 pixels. I'll go with 3 because that's what I normally do in that. And I'm just going to kind of blur them outward, and you notice what it's doing is it's just lightly smudging out the little orange squares. If I zoom out, you can notice a little bit better that it's causing it to go outwards. See? And that's what I want it to do, is go outwards a little bit. And same over here. Smudge, smudge, smudge. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the gleam to her eye. We're going to go to our dodge. We're going to go real small on our dodge. We're going to go down to like a 10. Okay, and if the light's coming from the upper left, I want to do 2 rather heavy shadows. Go 50%. In the upper left. Oh, see, that's too big. I need to go even smaller than that 10, so let's do a 5. Yeah, that's good. Let's see what that does. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to go back and forth until I get a nice little highlight there. Okay. I'm going to kind of line that up, match it to this other side, about there. Doesn't have to be perfect, just close. Okay. Now I'm going to go in, and I want to do it at a little one in the opposite corner, not as bright. Just a little back and forth there. Okay, and then I am going to go straight from shadows to highlights. And I am going to go right in the center and just kind of do a little circly highlight right in the center of that one I already made. Notice that it is turning almost white. Okay, that's because when I back out, that's the eye I get. Okay, so in here, just kind of keep doing circles. It gets brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter until I get that reflection looking gleam. And we have our reflected green eyes. Looks good. Next step, lips. So the lips, these are my hand-drawn lips. They look generic, but as I have stated many times, I'm not an artist. I do the best that I can, altering the things that I can. So what I'm going to do is I want to brighten these up a bit. We're going to go back to our dodge tool. And I want to give them kind of a lip gloss look. So we'll start with shadows. I'm going to leave it on 5 and see. Well, let's see. Actually, I'm going to go to 10. That's coming from the upper left, and the way that the lips curve, it's going to be brighter on the top. Oh, see, that didn't work, so we're not going to use that. We're going to use a 5 again. It's going to be brighter on the top than the bottom portion of the lip. And I also want to give it kind of a wet look. So I want it to be fairly bright And then the top portion of the bottom lip is going to be brighter. There we go. I'm going to do my midtones. The midtones, I want to go up here more and up here more, right? Because that's where the light would be. Okay, and then I'm going to do highlights, and I'm only going to do a couple highlights. I want this corner, and I want right around the base of the bottom lip. Okay, now let's zoom out and see what that looks like. Pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with that. So now we have our highlighted face. So really, that is the process of highlighting. It's just a method of going over things multiple times until you get the highlighting that you're wanting. So I'm going to repeat that for the rest of the image, and then I will come back and show you how to crop the background so we can insert our own backgrounds. So you can see I've finished highlighting the skin tones, blouse, everything, the book, the purse, dress, everything is highlighted with the exception of the confetti. I'll probably handle that off camera because it'll be kind of boring to watch. I'm not even looking forward to doing it, so I can't imagine anybody's looking forward to watching something like that. But I did want to get to how to cut out the background and add our own background in here. So this has a tool, I mentioned it earlier in my first video going through everything. It's called the Magic Wand. The Magic Wand allows me to select basically a color that's on the screen and eliminate it from the picture entirely. So in this case, I want all the white to be gone. So when I tap somewhere that's white, you notice this has this weird looking outline things on everything. What that's doing is that's where those outlines are, it will keep those things and it will cut everything else out. So that's exactly what I want it to do. So I can just go up here to edit and go to cut, and you'll notice the grid comes out. Now the grid is what I was talking about before. It's everything that's underneath my piece of paper. So basically what I did is I went out and I cut everything out like a paper doll. There's still a couple areas that I need to get, like there where the purse is. I'll cut that. And there's a small space in between the knees here that I need to get. And we will cut that. Now you'll notice it's not perfect. For instance, see this? It cut out some of the black and stuff like that. That's okay. Once the image is copied over to the background that I want, I will turn around and fix everything that it cropped out and stuff like that that I wanted to stay in the picture. So essentially what I have is now a cropped out image that I need to add a background to. So what I'm going to do is actually start a new picture. I'm going to do a new empty in the current size. What that's going to do is it's going to give me a piece of paper that's blank, the same size as the picture I have. If I go up here, you'll notice I still have both documents open. It's just I'm seeing this one over top of the other. Now what I want to do is I want to go to a gradient fill and see what they have. spectrums. There we go. Perfect. Those are our rainbow spectrums. So I've got the whole spectrum of light here. I'm thinking, no, I don't want it to show the background. So I'm thinking, no, I don't want solids. Ooh, which one, guys? Which one? I think this one, because it has fewer green and yellow spectrum. The spectrum for yellow and green is smaller, and since I have so much yellow and green in the picture, I want to keep that. So I'm going to do that. Now I get to pick which way I want the lines to go. I can either have them vertical or horizontal or diagonal. I think in this case, maybe let's try top to bottom. What's that look like? I don't know. With her in front of that, I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's undo that. Maybe, what if we went corner to corner? Yeah, I like that a lot better. We'll keep the corner to corner. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up here, copy it, go to this picture, go to layers. Sorry, no, edit, copy special, or paste rather. Boop. Okay. So now you see it's showing the whole rainbow, but it's because it's overlapping my other picture. I need to set the priority by dragging this picture on top of the other. And suddenly we have our rainbow background on top of our Irish girl, Irish lass. So really what I need to do now is just kind of clean up. You can see what it did is it cropped out, it left some of the white. I just need to go in there and fill the colors in for that. That shouldn't be too hard. It messed up a little bit of the red and the hair and stuff like that. That's normal. You just have to go back and clean that up. And then I think I'm going to be done with it. So that is how I use my tablet and Apple Pencil to make a digital image with my custom backgrounds, and I customize the image a little bit to my own liking. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be posting some more pictures on as soon as I get them done. Thanks for watching, everybody.